morning, good afternoon, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome into the channel. Today we're going to be talking about the all-new Roto Grip clone, but before we do, obviously, just have to talk about a couple quick things. First and foremost is if you do indeed like this video, make sure you like the video down below. That's a thumbs up button down there. Make sure you hit that. Make sure to let me know that I'm doing a good job with these videos. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. It's completely free. You can unsubscribe at any time, but I know there are a lot of you that are unsubscribed to the channel that do watch these videos. So again, just make sure you hit that subscription button. It helps the channel out a lot. And basically, it tells me that I'm doing a good job for you guys. Also, if you want to be notified when I do put out the next video, hit that bell notification down there. That'll let you know. It'll send updates to your YouTube app when I do indeed send out some more videos. So before we get into this Roto Grip clone, I know a lot of you guys have been asking about the shoulder surgery that I had. So just a couple brief little updates on how that went. Shoulder surgery went well. I'm about 4 weeks post-op here, give or take a couple of days. And it went well. So basically what happened is I had, in professional terms, I had a distal clavicle excision with a subacromial decompression. So basically what that is the collarbone comes into the AC joint here, and there's a little bit of a gap in there, essentially. So they went in to that AC joint, they cleaned everything out to give a little bit of the inflammation, a little bit more space and a little bit more room for that scar tissue to grow. They also shaved away a little bit of my collarbone, corrected some sort of hook that I had in my AC joint there from my collarbone. So they basically straightened out my collarbone a little bit from what that was communicated to me. There was a ligament or a tendon in there. I don't exactly remember which one that was a little bit frayed. So they cleaned that up. They cleaned up my rotator cuff. Basically, they just shaved away some of the frayed parts. And basically, I'm good as new as to, what they tell me. So surgery went well. Recovery's going great. I have pretty much my full range of motion back. A little bit of numbness and tingling yet. A little bit of pain yet. But overall, I'm doing a lot better than even what I was a week ago. So thank you guys for the well wishes that, some of you have posted on here. And without further ado, let's dive into this Roto Grip clone. But before we do, obviously, huge thank you to Storm, I Am Bowling, and Vise for their continued support to the channel. You can use my promo code down here. It's going to be Firehouse07. You can use that at checkout on any of your apparel order at I Am Bowling, and that'll save you 20% off. Great company. Very, very happy to be a part of them. And, obviously, 20% off is great for you guys. So make sure you use that promo code down below. Now let's talk about this new Roto Grip clone. So basically the layout that I have on this is a 4.5 by 1 3/4 by 2 3/4. This is the same layout that I have on the UFO Alert, which I do actually, I like the UFO Alert. It's not quite the clone, but it's still a pretty good ball. The pattern that we're going to be throwing this on is a 41-foot typical house shot. I just got back into bowling here after taking basically 5 weeks off, so I figured I wouldn't be able to quite get 2 patterns cranked out with you guys, so I just did one, did a little bit more footage on that house shot, so hopefully you guys like this. Hopefully it's enough footage for you guys, but let's dive in. Let's dive into this Roto Grip clone. So here you can see the layout on the ball. It's again 4.5 by 1 3/4 by 2 3/4. And we're going to hit the lanes here. So again, we're going to talk about these specs for the Roto Grip clone. Because it's a Roto Grip ball, this one has no scent, unlike those Storm balls. This ball is an asymmetric solid piece. The factory finish, though, is reactive gloss, so you're going to see this ball does come shiny. I do actually like the fact that they're putting kind of the shiny cover on some of these bigger asim pieces because it gets into the fronts and helps you create a little bit more shape and motion down lane. The cover on this ball is Optitrax or Optitrax, whichever one you prefer to pronounce it, but this is the first time this new cover has ever been used. With this cover, you should get a more consistent reaction and more predictable ball motion down lane. As you can see there, I've really gotten away with these first 5 shots, which I think does kind of come from the cover core combination. The core on this ball is the cloned ET core. Now, obviously, this does sound familiar because we did have the ET core in the UFO series balls This is essentially the same core. It's the same core shape. However, they changed the density in parts of this core to make it just a little bit stronger. They lowered the RG by 1 point and they raised the differential by 2 points. Again, that just makes it just a smidge stronger, makes it roll a hair earlier. So again, they changed the density in it to make it stronger. So the RG is 251, differential is 056, and the mass bias in this ball is 016. So now we're going to jump into this gem ball. This is arguably the best-selling and most dependable ball that Roto Grip has in their line as of right now. Again, because it is a Roto Grip ball, there is no scent. This is an asymmetric solid, just like the clone. However, unlike the clone, this factory finish is 2000 Aberlon. So this is going to lead you to get a little bit more of an earlier rolling motion than you get with the actual clone. The cover on this gem is the Microtrax Solid. This was the only time this Microtrax Solid has ever been used. The core in this is the Defiant LRG core, or the low RG core. This was the first time that this gem core was used. Out of 3, the latest was the exotic gem. The RG in this gem is 247, differential of 053, mass bias of, again, of 016. Now we got the UFO Alert. This is still some people's favorite ball, including a lot of pros still use this UFO Alert. It's an ASIM hybrid. Out of box is 1500 polish. This was shiny. This was part of that, kind of controversy with some of those Storm products. The cover on this is E-Trax Hybrid. This is the 3rd and last installation of this cover stock, the first time that this cover stock was used in the Idle Synergy. The core on this is the ET core that we were talking about previously. It was used 3 times. This is the last time that this core was ever used. The first was in the OG UFO Alert. The RG is 252, differential of 054, and a mass bias 016. Now let's get away from a little bit of the specs and let's talk more about kind of what I think about this Roto Grip clone. So this Roto Grip clone, my first impression of this was it was definitely cleaner. However, it was more predictable of a shape than what I was expecting. It's certainly a little cleaner than what the gem is, but I would say it's a little bit stronger in shape than what the UFO Alert is. It's smooth, but still has great down lane motion. I would say with the gem, what you're getting is a ball that's going to find the pocket consistently. However, it might deflect through the back part of the lane because it is using a fair amount of energy early. With the UFO Alert, it's certainly clean, but it might not have the teeth to dig in down lane, or it might be a little too clean and it might not read as early. What I think is the perfect in-between of both of those balls is this Roto Grip clone. It gets through the fronts cleanly, however, it doesn't jackknife off the back part of the lane. It has decent shape down lane, and it gets through the pins really, really well. So who is this clone for? Well, it's more or less what is this clone used for. So this isn't a ball that I would say you could use on the longest of patterns. I would say once you get into the 44-foot, 45-foot range, this ball might not be the best for those long patterns. But when you're looking for a more consistent and more predictable shape on heavier volume patterns, this could be your ball. It could also be great on heavier volume league shots. So basically, if you have a little bit of bounce in it, this ball would really, really look good. I certainly wasn't the most consistent with this ball. Coming back from not bowling for 5 weeks, I think it was safe to say I was a little rusty when I was bowling. However, this ball really gave me a lot of miss room. I could miss in, and it would skid, stay clean, and hit the pocket. Once I got it out, it had enough teeth to kind of return. So I think this ball is going to be great when you're on patterns where you have a little bit of miss room. Now, what I've been doing with most of these balls as of late is I've kind of been trying to pin a shelf life on these balls. How long these balls, you could see them on a Pro Shop shelf, or how long they're going to be on the Storm website. The shelf life of this ball I think is tricky, but I think it also depends on the pros. I could see this with a shelf life of a year. However, if the pros are consistently finding this in their hands, just like the UFO Alert, you'll still see a UFO Alert on TV or at least on tour. But if this ball finds its way into the hands of the pros, I think we could see this on the market for 2+ years just because of how much the pros like it. Sometimes if the pros like a ball, Storm might not discontinue it, even though it might not be the most popular with your normal league shot bowler. Are you getting a clone? Do you have a clone? Let me know down in the comments down below. Also, make sure you're looking at my shoes here. I am wearing the all-new 3G Racers. They look really, really good. They feel really, really good. They're really, really easy to kind of... I'm kind of a little picky when it comes to my shoes. These were very, very easy to find a sweet spot, you know, with the interchangeable soles and with the interchangeable heels. So I was really, really happy with these racers. Up next in the reviews, we're going to be looking at the Tour Dynamics. It does look really, really good. I was actually kind of impressed with this ball, so make sure you stay tuned for that. I wouldn't say it's going to quite replace the IQ Tour. However, it's really close, and it looks really good, and I think it's going to be versatile just like that IQ Tour. So, until the next video, guys, good luck and good bowling.